You can tell absolutely everything about a person's internal status in a physical house by the precise way they open the front door. If you are a guest, hoping you do not overstay your welcome, you knock gently. You step back. You wipe your shoes on the mat out of nervous habit, and when the door finally opens, you hold your breath, waiting to see if you are secretly an inconvenience. You walk down the hallway like you are stepping on fragile glass. If you own the place, you do not negotiate with the door handle. You put your key in the lock, step inside, drop your keys on the side table, and sit on the couch. You take up space because the space belongs to you. Most people treat $500 million exactly like an exclusive estate they are desperately trying to sneak into. They stand out on the lawn in the pouring rain, wringing their hands, whispering to the sky, asking for a small corner of the kitchen. Today, we are going to look at the exact psychological command that changes your internal stance from a terrified visitor waiting on the porch to the quiet owner who holds the deed. Let us be entirely honest about that massive number in the title of this video, 500,000. It is so absurdly large that your analytical mind probably twitched when you read it. That biological flinch is the very first problem we have to fix. When a number feels intimidating, you place it on a pedestal. You think to yourself, if I ever reached that level, I would have to be a completely different species of human. But an owner is never intimidated by the size of their own property. If someone inherits a 40-room estate, they do not gasp at the ceiling height every single morning. The vastness is not a daily miracle. It is just the dimensions of where they sleep. When you pray frantically or write affirmations until your wrist physically aches, you are advertising your own shock. You are telling your subconscious mind that wealth is so completely alien to who you are. You have to perform a desperate ritual just to get its attention. That is guest energy. If you want to command scale, you have to systematically strip the awe out of the number. Bring it down to eye level. Think about your physical body when you are waiting for permission. You sit in a waiting room, shoulders tense, jumping every time the inner office door clicks. Is it my turn? Did I say the wrong thing? This is how most people spend their entire internal life. They do a morning routine, and then spend 3 weeks frantically scanning their environment for signs that it worked. Checking the bank account, bracing for a negative number, looking for signs on license plates while driving to a job they resent. That constant, nervous checking is not faith. It is the tick of someone who knows they do not have a reservation. Commanding is not shouting at reality. Shouting is just desperation with the volume turned up. True commanding is the heavy silence that follows a judge's final verdict. So what are the words? People want a secret phrase that acts like a cheat code for the physical world. But these words are powerful entirely because of the internal shift in self-concept they require you to make. The exact words are simple. It is occupied. Not, it is coming to me. Not, I am attracting it. It is occupied. When a physical building is legally marked as occupied, the public discussion about who owns it is officially over. The open house signs are pulled off the lawn. The lease is signed. When you walk around saying, I am trying to manifest wealth, you leave the room of your identity wide open and vacant. You are on the sidewalk hoping someone drops off the keys, inviting fear and circumstance to squat in your mind. When you sit in your chair, look directly at your current financial reality and declare internally, this scale of existence is already occupied by my identity. The debate ends. I am not telling you to pretend your overdue bills do not exist, or to spend money you do not have. Sovereignty means that when the physical world shows you a temporary lack of funds, you treat it exactly like a temporary plumbing renovation in a bathroom you already own. You do not have an existential crisis when a wall is being torn down, because you know the house belongs to you before, during, and after the messy construction. Think about the physical difference between holding a helium balloon and holding a heavy set of brass keys. Most people hold their financial desires like a thin string attached to a floating balloon. They are terrified that if they blink, if they have one anxious afternoon, or if they get frustrated, the string will slip through their fingers and float away into the sky forever. They treat wealth as something fragile that requires constant emotional perfection. That is an exhausting way to live, and it is completely false. An estate owner does not lose their property deed just because they had a bad day or woke up in a quiet mood. The deed is locked in a drawer. It is settled law. When you say it is occupied, you trade that fragile balloon string for the cold, solid weight of the keys. You allow yourself to be human. You can feel tired, annoyed, or uncertain about the day ahead without worrying that your normal human emotions are going to strip away your future. Your moods are just the daily weather passing over the property. The weather changes every few hours, but it never changes the boundary lines on the deed. Tomorrow, when you wake up, do not touch your phone for 60 seconds. Sit at the edge of your mattress. Feel the actual, physical weight of your feet resting firmly on the floorboards. Do not fire off a frantic mental list of things you desperately need to happen today. Register the quiet authority of your own physical presence. Remind yourself, I am not asking life for a temporary seat at the table. The table only exists because I am here to observe it. When you check your bank account, do not look at it as the ultimate measure of your human worth. Look at it as merely the current, temporary inventory in one small drawer of a massive house. If you see a number you do not like, you do not scream at the drawer. You set a quiet, cold intention to restock it, calmly and methodically. Maintaining the inventory of the estate is simply what an owner does. Drop the urgency. A person running from a threat moves with urgency. An owner moves with heavy deliberation because they know the property is not going anywhere. We have built a culture that glorifies the exhausting hustle of the beggar, the loud public striving to prove we finally deserve a life of peace. But the shift from asking to commanding happens in the quiet, unlit room of your own self-concept. The universe is not a stern landlord keeping a ledger of your mistakes. Reality is neutral. It simply reflects back to you the identity you consistently claim when no one else is looking. So stop standing on the porch. Wipe the cold rain off your coat, put your hand firmly on the brass latch, and push the door open. Step inside. The estate has been waiting for years for you to stop knocking and finally take your seat.